We have a problem here in payment form. When I enter the IBAN here, the bank name is displayed underneath. When I switch to another form by changing the currency to international, then the big input field gets displayed and the bank name jumps underneath it. Now, when I switch back to the SEPA form, the bank name is back here displayed. But when I enter the drawer for receiver, there is no bank name displayed there. Let's try to fix this problem using Copilot. We start by booting up the Copilot CLI. I will enter the planning mode and document the prompt in details because that's not a trivial bug. I will point to the entry points. It will be SEPA form config and international form config to give it a clue where to start research from. Now I submit this long prompt and let it think. It takes time because it evaluates files, so we should bear in mind. Okay, I see it found some unit that has an evaluation there, but it has some doubts and therefore it paused and tries to interview me to get clarity. Let me help to resolve the issue. I think it understood it correctly. Let me double check this through just to open that file in the IDE to see where we are for Romania, let's say. And there is this evaluation. Okay, what it claims, the problem we should do. Yep. Okay, let me see the usage of this function. It's inside here, the bank name info, whether displayed or not. But I think it led to a wrong place because this one evaluation works, I guess. It displays the bank name under the bank account input field in the form, but we are talking about the drawer. Drawer means this lazy receiver model. And I think we need to correct it to point it to this component because this is bank account form field where the problem of not displayed bank name occurs. Let's point it out there. All right, I provided corrections to the reasoning it had. Let's see what now. It found another evaluation unit should display bank name info in one of the services. Now it claims it fully understands, but there are still doubts, and it interviews me again. Let's see. I think now it correctly reasons, but let me double check in account check service what it means. Here is account check service. Where is it used? Just to make sure that it's correct place. Yeah, it's the right component. The one that I pointed out before, account with search input, and actually bank name display is driven here on that prop, and there is this evaluation. All right, let me confirm that that's correct idea. And now it builds a plan telling about the summary and to-dos, which will be there to update the priority logic and update a unit test along and run the test to confirm the fix. I like this plan. I exit the planning mode. I start. It will be executing the plan. I see it modifies the logic there and also the test. Okay, let's see if it can run the test. And it does with the next test command. So it claims everything is done, and let's verify. I normally do it in a separate tab, so I see what changes are made. Okay, and I will review the changes here. All right, it actually modified this thing here and updated the logic and updated the test cases. I'm not sure about this implementation, therefore I will double check in the file. We lost the bank usage here, or no, it's actually here. It maintained it. Okay. So if actually the big field will be displayed, and the bank from financial institutions is there, then we return false, means we won't display the bank name underneath the bank account field because it will be displayed under the big field. All right, that's fine. Let me manually verify whether it works. I copy pasting the same IBAN I used to at the beginning. The bank name is displayed here. I'm switching to international form in favor of the big field is displayed with the bank name underneath. Now I'm switching back to the arrow form. Big is gone, and I'm opening the receiver, the drawer, and I see the bank name is displayed there. Okay, so actually the bug is fixed. What do you think? Switching back to Copilot here to extend our existing user journey test with this small behavior. Let's do it. Quite a long prompt, but I know the domain, Copilot doesn't. Now you can see that it accesses a skill file for integration testing and tries to execute. Our existing user journey tests helps it to learn, understand how we do things. All right. It seems it's updating the test after all long reasoning about what will happen. And it even runs the test in a headless mode, as you see. It will take some time because Webpack will compile. Now we are back and the test failed. It tries to learn from the sibling tests how to close a drawer because that was the issue. It fixes it on its own without any doubts asking me. Now it runs the test again. So the test passed, we are back. And here is the summary, all good. Let's review the code. Yeah, that's the target file we wanted to modify. It imported some helper, added bank name to the receiver endpoint, and also added the same bank name under the financial institution. Makes sense. Here are the steps. Oh, these comments, I don't like them. Let me ask to clean it up. Back to Copilot. The prompt is here. Okay, done. Back to the review. So what happens? We type the Great Britain IBAN into the bank account form field, then change the currency to USD in favor to simulate the switch to the international form. Then we switch back to the SEPA form by selecting the euro currency. Then we open the model with a helper, all correct as per our patterns. Then we assert the presence of the model, and inside the model, we checked whether the bank name info, that's a selector for the bank name, contains Tatra Bank here. Then we close the model, check that it doesn't exist, and continue with our journey. And that's actually a very good outcome from the integration test. Both test unit, low level, and integration, high level with user journeys passed. That was the Copilot session. I didn't do any coding myself, but since I own the domain knowledge, I can help Copilot and AI in favor to move on. Now I will create a PR and we are ready.